What's up, guys? I'm Nate. This is my review for the MCU film, The Marvels, and it was a film that was unable to rise to meet my lowest expectations. This film is bad in a way that Marvel has not been bad on cinema before. We seem to have entered the end of the MCU because this film, I cannot see how the series can continue on. This is bad in a way that no other Marvel film has been bad. The acting is perhaps some of the worst I've ever seen put to cinema, let alone in the MCU. The costume design looked like they'd stolen it from the Villains of Valley View, a D+ show about villains trying to live like regular people. This film retroactively makes Batman and Robin better. This film retroactively makes all of the 90s superhero films look better. I would put this film against Steel and rate Steel higher than this. There's nothing to enjoy in this film. It is a boring slog that has jokes that don't land, emotion that doesn't exist in it, and the background science, which in superhero films can be forgiven for being a bit outlandish, is an absolute joke. They took the premise from Spaceballs and tried to make it into a real thing. And I have to say, Spaceballs did it better and funnier and with more emotion. Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers, is an empty, hollow brick. Every emotion she tries to show you feels like we're watching an AI attempt to interpret what emotion is. The action scenes are laughably bad, and from a film series like the MCU, that is probably its greatest sin. MCU was built on action set pieces, and this film's action set pieces were awful. They could have hired an army of choreographers from action films like The Matrix, films like The Raid, films like Ong Bak, films like Kung Fu Hustle, any action adventure Chinese or Japanese film. They could have hired anyone that was competent, but they didn't. And the fight choreography makes no sense in this film. And I get that, oh, they're jumping between each other with their powers and stuff. Cool. It sucks. It takes away from the action scenes that you're trying to show. Each action scene is a story in and of itself, like a wrestling match is a story in and of itself. What are they doing in these fight scenes? Oh, we're fighting this guy. Cool. What's this guy's abilities? Is he bigger than you? Is he stronger than you? What's your strategy for taking this guy on? And there's nothing there. There's nothing. They don't even look like professional soldiers fighting them. It looks like Civil War reenactors that have been told, look, you're going to go in this film, you're going to do this and that, and then that's it. This is terrible. An action film with bad action is a bad action film. And the villain is perhaps the worst MCU villain we've ever seen. Even Iron Man 3's fake Mandarin is a better villain here than this woman, the Accuser. She has the Power Stone and gets overpowered. It makes no sense. Her plan makes no sense. The ability of her people to live after their sun has extinguished makes no sense. It wouldn't even be in the same gravitational range anymore because the sun is what keeps you in the solar system. The sun burnt out. And if you take water from a planet and put it on a planet where there is no sun, that water will freeze. And if you drop it on the planet from the height that they dropped it on, it would impact the planet like a rod from God and decimate the planet. This is poor. You have to be able to work this super science out in such a way that your suspension of disbelief isn't shattered, and this shatters your suspension of disbelief. This is a poor film. And it is really sad that the MCU has to end on such a film, because I don't see a way for it to continue. The MCU should have ended with Endgame, but they decided to go on and on and on. I don't want 9 endings after the main ending. The MCU should have ended at Endgame, and then they should have reset and done something else. Or if they were going to continue, and they want this multiverse nonsense going on, then each film should be in a multiverse of its own. Do each one of these films as a singular universe, and then the big villain, if you want it to be Kang the Conqueror, or if you want it to be Galactus, or if you want it to be any number of super-powered cosmic world-ending threats that brings all these universes together into one universe, you can do that, but you have to build it first. This is the same problem the DCU has. They didn't build it first. Marvel didn't start off with the Avengers. They had Iron Man, that led into Captain America, that led into Thor. They put building blocks down for these characters. There are no building blocks for the new characters in this new phases of the MCU. Phase 4 and Phase 5 is a failure. You cannot start a film series in the middle. You have to start at the beginning. You have to build this world. Build these characters. And even a film that did start in the middle, like Star Wars, built the characters they had. We saw Luke as a whiny little bitch farm boy. We saw Han Solo as a badass smuggler. We saw Princess Leia as a capable fighter. You built these characters in A New Hope, and you expanded on them in The Empire Strikes Back, and expanded on them again in Return of the Jedi. Build these characters, make them mean something, because right now no one cares. You can say, oh, we tried to build Miss Marvel in her TV show. Nobody watched the show. Check the ratings. Nobody watched the show. You want to put her in a film, then you tell her origin story in a film and you build her. You threw these characters out there to flounder and die. And the only reason Captain Marvel got a sequel is because the first film they did had a friggin' $1 billion in it, because we thought we had to see it for Endgame. Everyone did. Everyone thought we have to see this for Endgame. And it wasn't until after we saw the film that we realized, no, we don't need to see this for Endgame. And nobody likes the Captain Marvel character. Nobody. This character has failed multiple times now. Get it through your head, guys. Nobody likes this character the way you're showing her. Do her again. Reboot this character. Change this character. Do something to make us care about this character. Because right now, you could shove a brick up her ass and I wouldn't feel a flicker of emotion. Build these characters, Disney. It's not hard. You've done it before. And you say, oh, well, it's hard. People don't want to see. Shut up. Build these characters and people want to see them. Build them to be good characters and people want to see them. Build them as bad characters and all people want to see is them die. Give me a villain that is a villain, that knows what he's doing is bad and evil, but doesn't care because it furthers his goal. Give me a hero that will stand on his or her morals and will not be swayed by villainous temptation or by any seductions by the villain. Show me a hero that is a pillar of goodness, of greatness. Show me how that character came to be. Tell me why. Show me why I should care. But you haven't done that with these characters in the Marvels. I don't care about Captain Marvel. I don't care about Miss Marvel. I don't care about Woman the Accuser. I don't care about Photon. I don't care about Nick Fury, the worst spy in the world. I don't care. You made me not care. Why would I give a flicker of emotion for this film when you have done everything in your power to make me not care? This film is bad. These characters are bad. The character designs are bad. The costume designs are bad. The choreography is bad. There is nothing redeemable here. You have taken the crown from Batman and Robin, and instead of holding it in shame, you have placed it upon your head like Napoleon Bonaparte and declared yourself the emperor of the bad superhero stories. Congratulations, you suck. And you don't even understand why. Because you don't listen and you don't care. The only recommendation I have for this film is it'll make you want to watch other good or better films. After I saw this film, I went back and I watched Steel. I watched The Punisher, the original with Dolph Lundgren. I watched Blade. I forgot how great Blade was. Such a good film. This film, this Marvels, no. This is gutter trash. And it should be treated as such. If you like my review, like, comment and subscribe. And I will catch you guys somewhere down that road.